Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Scorpio Cesar from the Cesar Arcade here, and today I want to talk about a game that just kind of came out of nowhere. It was announced out of the blue, and I was a bit skeptical when I originally heard about it. Now, I'm no stranger to Alien games. I've played pretty much all of them and own all of them at some point in time. Have Alien Trilogy, Alien Resurrection, both on the PlayStation 1, Alien Colonial Marines on the Xbox 360, and I also have Alien Isolation on multiple platforms digitally. So, how is Aliens Fireteam Elite? The thing that caught me off guard was that it was developed by a studio named Cold Iron. Now, they don't have a lot of pedigree when it comes to developing games, so I was a bit iffy on it. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad game, right? Now, I'm still very early on into this game, and I haven't really scratched the surface. But from the get-go, I want to give you guys my first impressions and what I think personally about Alien Fireteam Elite. And that's such an interesting name, Aliens Fireteam Elite. Anyways, is this going to be the Colonial Marines game that we should have gotten? Well, let's see. Now, right off the bat, the customization in this game is pretty bare bones. None of these options honestly look like me. So then I tried to create the Bad Batch's crosshairs and, well, that failed because the white hair wasn't actually turning white. Regardless, I get it, it's a minor issue for most, but for me, I would have liked the deeper Colonial Marine customization option. Now, the main hub of the Endeavour ship looks pretty good. Presentation-wise, the game looks solid. Some may think that it looks a little generic in a typical Space Marine spaceship way, but honestly, where do you think that look originated from? I think it gets the job done and looks good. The NPCs you do chat with are voiced pretty well, but what's odd to me is that their mouths don't move. I don't know, it just kind of throws me off. And it gives me that whole Fireteam Elite is a bit on the low budget kind of side. Which is weird considering the IP that it's backed up by. Now, the loadout system here is pretty damn deep. All the weapons have different stats and slots for different attachments and modifiers, and I've yet to unlock most of those, if any of those. Me personally, just give me the pulse rifle and the smart gun, and I'm good to go. Thankfully, everything unlocked here at this hub area is done using in-game progress and currency. So you know what that means? No microtransactions. I'm good with that. Now back to the presentation, I think the game looks pretty damn good. Now I'm playing this on the Xbox One X, and it runs smooth enough for me. There are some hitches here and there where the audio will cut out when loading into a new area. The music, it sounds like something you hear in an Alien movie, so I'd give them that. Although I would have loved to see the return of Stephen Root from Alien Trilogy to do the soundtrack for this one. I think that would have been fantastic. But the game has some authentic sound effects that you'd hear from the movies. A personal nitpick of mine, even though the pulse rifle sounds on point, I feel like the M56 smart gun sounds a bit off for me. Is it just me? Maybe it's just my memory playing games with me. Now, is it me or is the audio mixing a bit off? I don't know, I feel like the weapon's not sounding nearly as loud as I'd like. The shooting feels great though, thanks to the force feedback on the controller. It feels really great on the Xbox One controller in particular. I can only imagine how this feels on a DualSense. What's pretty cool and something I like about games like this is that there are little artifacts and Easter eggs that you can find throughout the level that will help add to the Xeno lore, and that's always welcome to me. I also love the callback to the Working Joes and Seekson from Alien Isolation. That was a really nice touch. Now, when I decided to jump into an actual mission, I decided to go it solo, in which the game pairs you up with two synthetic AI teammates. Stupidly, I chose to boost up the difficulty to Intense to start off. Now, I don't know who I was trying to impress, but all I did was prove that I sucked, as the Xenomorph swarms overwhelmed me pretty early on. Oh, and once you and your teammates are down for the count, it's game over and you have to start from the beginning of that mission. Gotta say though, I'm digging how the difficulty levels change various parameters, like the Xenos not being highlighted when you're aiming down the sights, friendly fire being on or off, AI teammates being useless, seriously, stop getting in my way, how deadly acid can be, and other things that'll make you want to play this game online with friends, especially on those higher difficulties, which was the main intention behind the game to begin with. The Marine you control definitely has a nice weight to them, and the cover mechanics could use some refinement. They're not the best, honestly. Look, this is no Gears of War, but it's serviceable. Besides, I'm barely using it against the wave of Xenos. However, I do know that there are some enemies later on in the game where you will have to use cover, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. And God, I love that shoulder-mounted cannon for the Demolisher class. The overall gameplay, however, is definitely action-packed, and I love just how many Xenomorphs come at you at various locations and elevations. They don't just walk up to you and wait for you to give them a hug either. These bastards will swarm you and slash and bite and claw like they rightfully should. Now, I've already come across some of the standard Xenomorph types that fans will recognize. You've got the runner type, which is the grunts that you'll see a ton of. They're quick but oh so satisfying to kill, especially when you hear that translucent dome pop. You also got the drones, which are the big chaps. These dudes will use the vents and ducts to travel around you, exposing themselves to walk right up to you and lay in some damage before bouncing again. And then you got the warriors, which are probably the biggest threats I've encountered yet. They will lumber quickly towards you and your allies, grabbing you and laying in the hurt. And they can take a hell of a beating. You're going to want to save up your stamina and use the dive roll just at the right time to avoid these attacks. Thankfully, the game is balanced enough where you can't spam that roll either. Other xenotypes include the spitters. These guys keep their distance and pick you off by spitting acid at you. Very annoying. The Prowler is a pain in the ass that'll tackle you down and lay in some hits. They love to jump you from around the corners, so be wary. And there are more enemy types as you get deeper into the game from what I've heard, and I'm looking forward to see what's in store. But as for someone who's critical on how the Xenomorphs are handled in video games, so far, I'm really liking what I see here. The game is very heavy-handed in the whole prepare to defend against the horde mechanic, giving you consumables like mines, drones, and even turrets to set up.
Let's rock.
I can see people getting tired of this type of gameplay, but overall for me, it's the type of alien game that I felt was needed. Now I can see people getting tired of this type of gameplay, but overall for me, it's the type of alien game that I felt was needed. I really do hope the developers plan to support this game further with DLC and updates to help smooth out some of the game's rough edges. Now I'll definitely be sinking many more hours into this one. I just gotta play with some human teammates cause the friendly AI in this game just isn't doing it for me. Although I gotta say, the one thing that's sorely lacking from this game is crossplay. This game absolutely necessitates it. Now I chalk this up to the developers not being as experienced since they're kind of a new developer. I mean, they've been around for a little while, but they haven't really done much. So maybe it's on their end, but I'm hoping in the future they roll out some type of patch to cross-play this thing, because I'd like to play my buddies on the PS4, but given how the whole progression system works in this game, there's no way I'm going to sync up that many hours into one version and another version, because I just don't got that time. That's pretty much my thoughts on Aliens Fireteam Elite right now, playing the Xbox One X version, and yeah, so far, so good. Have you guys and gals played this game yet? If you have, let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of it? And are you a fan? Are you not? Are you hoping for a sequel to Alien Isolation? Because that's personally what I'm looking forward to. Anyways, if you're interested in seeing a retrospective video on some of these older Alien games, do let me know in the comment section below. It's something I've planned on doing since I started up this gaming channel once again. And I would love to take a look, especially at Alien Trilogy. So anyways, thanks for watching everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative and helpful if you're on the edge of picking this one up. Do remember that it's also a budget price title, so it's only $39.99, which honestly, it's not that bad, especially if you have friends to play with. And you're a fan of the franchise, of course. Anyways, everybody, thanks for watching. The end card is here with other videos you might be interested in. I hope you check those all out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to help support the channel, and I'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone.